Welcome back to How to Souls. My name is Rach and today we're going to continue with our 100% walkthrough of Elden Ring. Last time we cleared Stormvale Castle, beat Godric the Grafted, and now it's time to move on to our next continent, Liurnia of the Lakes. So we've been here before, this is nothing new to us, but we haven't actually cleared any of the content here. We literally just ran through, picked up a few somber stones and tears, etc. And a bunch of graces, so if you're curious on if you've not been following the rest of this walkthrough, yeah, we've been here before. But we are heading to Stillwater Cave today. Now, this is a cave that you're going to want to complete if you are any kind of melee build. More so, I would say, if you're using a big, heavy, slow weapon, not really. But if you're using a weapon it's a bit smaller, a bit quicker, and you're going to be hitting multiple times in a combo, definitely prioritize coming to this cave. Now, the Bloodhound Fang, I think it more excels with jump attacks than with a simple RB combo attack. So I didn't prioritize coming here sooner. But perhaps if you're using, say, katanas or daggers or claws, things like that. Watch out for that big heckin' lobster, by the way. Just keep running. And here's our cave just here. Yeah, you definitely want to come to this cave, beat this boss here, and get the reward. So, this cave is Stillwater Cave. It's full of still water. It's literally shit. So, it's poisonous. The whole thing is poisonous. And as you're about to see, I get pretty humbled by this cave, actually. We can definitely take full advantage of the fact that we have been leveling some faith and we can use incantations. So by equipping the Cure Poison incantation, we have infinite, well, not really infinite. We have a much more versatile curative than if we were using consumables. So we're limited to the number of FP recovery flasks and items that we have. And I did forget to reallocate my flasks here at the start of the dungeon, and this is going to bite me later. So in here we have a lot of these mushroom hat laddies, which will cast a homing sort of missile on you. When it connects with you, it will build up poison. We've got a lot of Miranda blooms down below in the poison swamp that will build up poison. They have lots of little baby flowers which will build up poison. Lots of poison. Luckily for us, these flowers are super weak to fire. If you hit them with fire, it will interrupt their attacks, it will stun them. And you can get a few good hits in. We don't have enough mana, enough FP, I should say, to just spam fireballs. What you're going to want to do is just use a fireball to stun the flower and then jump in with some melee attacks while it's on fire. But yeah, the health on these big things is crazy. And I thought it was still stunned there, not going to lie. It recovered pretty quickly from that. Jump attacks do take them down quite quickly, but obviously we're fighting in the swamp, we're covered in poison. We can use our Cure Poison here. It takes a long time to cast, so you do want to make sure you're nice and safe before you start casting that. Now, my clothes are still covered in poison, so it means that my poison buildup will continue. You can use an item called soap, which we haven't found any of yet, to clean yourself up and to make sure that, it doesn't keep building while you're not even standing in the poison. However, if poison is procced from build-up rather than from you directly standing in the poison swamp, the resulting damage over time effect that you get from that poison and rot is far, far reduced. So I use a little bit of tactic here. I know I'm going to get poisoned, but I choose to deliberately set up a weaker poison on me. On reflection, what I probably should have done is just got the frick out of the poison swamp entirely and rained down fire from above. But you live and learn, and I did live and I did learn, and now I'm telling you guys my findings and advising you that this was not the best way to handle this room. Do I actually die here? Oh my god, the save, man. But yeah, very messy. Loads of these caster guys, 2 big Mirandas and then lots of little ones. It's not great. So I opt here to just run completely out the way. We still have a few flasks left, so we don't need to like go and rest or that, but we'll take the high ground and we'll start chucking some fireballs from up here, I think. Now, the thing is about the high ground is it still doesn't protect you from the poison because the big poison cloud can still hit us up here. Their projectiles can still hit us up here. But it does mean that I'm a bit safer from the flower's melee attacks. And I can just take out these guys from up here. Should have had more Crimson Tears. Not Crimson Tears, sorry, Cerulean Tears flasks. And just done it this way. The actual hit of the fireball, surprisingly weak on the flower. But the strength, obviously, is in stunning it and then getting a big jump attack in. And then... Do you know what? You don't even really have to kill these. I get in my head that, like, I want to, like, clear stuff at least once. And then if I die to, like, the boss, then I'll just run through. But you never know when killing something is going to award you with something unique or perhaps some crafting materials that you might not even need now, but you might need later. So I guess it's always a good idea to kill stuff at least once as you're going through an area. Health is getting pretty low here. Oh, you gotta love willingly jumping into the poison swamp with like no flasks left. And big heckin' flowers. Alright, I do have enough mana for a cure poison. No, cure poison, it takes so little mana. But my fire sling takes a bit more, so. I opt instead to jump across here to clear this little sort of mine shaft area. It means that if I clear this bit and then die later on, at least this bit is clear. So, I don't know why I'm not healing. I think I thought I was out of healing flasks when really I'm not. I was chatting to chat. That is the problem with me streaming this walkthrough and then editing it later, is that when I'm streaming it, I'm kind of like da 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 da, and then I'm like editing it later and I'm like, Rachel, what the frick are you doing? What the hell? You have like 3 heals left. Why are you fighting bats with no health? Oh my god. It's actually crazy that I don't die here. It's wild because these guys can like so easily jump you. Somehow Palpatine survived. I don't know. But I'm able to get in here. Oh, there's another bat in here. I think this is where I go, yeah, nah. Or no, do we go for it? We flipping go for it. The balls on this lasso. Just really want to clear this room, I guess. Where'd the bat go? There it is. Okay. So this bat, a little bit tougher than the other bats. I was calling them banshees. There, I have discovered that I do have heals left. There we go. Wonderful. Yeah, I was calling them banshees. They sing in Latin, which is pretty badass. And but in this case, in this cave, they're highly dangerous, purely based on their HP pool. But a jump attack swiftly takes care of that. Serpent arrows that we picked up there, those are powerful poison arrows. Now we'll be able to craft our own poison arrows pretty easily. Now, we've already got the cookbook for that. And also you can buy poison arrows from a merchant as well, but it's always good to get stuff for free. So there's some poison arrows there. We want to probably build up a bow for this build. Our end game is to level faith and to have a high faith stat, but we're going to have a dex sort of off-spec, call it that. So we do want to probably start thinking soon about building up a bow. Bows are not going to deal huge amounts of damage by themselves, but the point with a bow is you're looking for build-up. You're looking for a nice speedy bow that we can use lots of different arrow types with, in particular poison, frost, bleed, etc. So we can safely build up these statuses from a distance when bosses are, for example, not reachable by melee. So, yeah, poison arrows. I'm still down here in this poison swamp trying to kill every single giant flower in this place. But I think this is where I've sort of given up. I was like, I've had enough. I've had enough of going down there. And instead, we head across up here. This little bit here, behind this pillar, there are a couple of bats. There they go. They come from the ceiling. So we're just going to pull them back. Goes without saying as well, if you aren't following every single part of this walkthrough and you don't have a lantern, caves, lanterns are a necessity for caves because it's visibility is so poor without a lantern. So you want to make sure you pick up one of those. You can get them from the merchant. The first one that you meet in Liurnia actually sells a lantern, but it's necessity. A couple of budding cave mosses here. I believe those are used for poison curatives, but we've got cure poison incantation, so it's all good. If you take the high road here, and sort of follow the cliff above, you can pass straight over this big Miranda bloom, and there's a bat down there. And you don't have to fight it to get through it. But obviously if you're down in the poison swamp, you can't get past it. So you have to oh no, it's moved. It's slowly coming after us. It's slowly moving. It's out of the way. Also technically you could just wait for it to move. I am going back to the Grace because I'm fully aware, and I admit that this guide is really messy. So I'm like, dear God. And I ran past the Grace. Great. Fantastic. Hey, if you haven't already, subscribe for the rest of this walkthrough. It's top tier quality. This is one of my more sort of messy parts, and I can admit it, and I can advise on what to do and what not to do. But the rest of this walkthrough, tip top. Tip top, mate. Subscribe. So I've already killed all these once. I don't need to justify my skills by killing them again. I'm just instead gonna spam roll over here. Okay, there we go. Other side of this flower. I don't feel the need to kill it. We just simply jump across. We have all the optional pickups from this area, so we can head on through to this sort of next room. There's our stake of Marika if we do die to the boss. No reason in particular why I would point that out. That is where we would respawn. All little caves have, and mines have a stake of Marika. Catacombs do not, but that is because the boss is quite often right at the entrance anyway, right by the Grace. But caves will have them. So you can rest assured when you see one that it's a checkpoint. But yeah, down from here is the boss. We've got another poison swamp in the way, but we've got cure poison, so it's all good, my dudes. I do want to get all these guys. Ideally, you'd want to sneak and get them before they spot you to deal that critical damage when enemies are unaware of you. Then we can take them down in one hit. This one on the end has noticed us, and as you can see, takes more than one hit. And whereas this one that hasn't noticed us takes just the one. So, pretty cool. And then jumping down here, there's the golden fog wall, which denotes the boss on the other side. The Cleanrot Knight. Oh, poison grease. Nice. No point in using it here, though. This guy's pretty accustomed to poison. Cleanrot Knight. So this guy, very low health pool. However, very deadly if you underestimate him. So we can quickly overpower him or her, them, with jump attacks, which do a good amount of stagger, and literally just jump attack, back off, jump attack. A couple of attacks to be aware of. In particular, there is just thrusts in general. Thrusts are roll catchers. So if you are rolling backwards away from the boss, and the boss is thrusting his spear at you, you're going to get hit by the spear as your roll ends because the spear is long. Does that make sense? So if you are dodging this boss, dodge to the side. Try to dodge behind them and either hit from behind or back off, jump attack, etc. Okay, pop my flask of physique, pop a blood grease, which, on reflection, wasted really. Flame grant me strength for a lot more physical damage, and then we'll run on in. Stick to the left-hand side of the room to avoid the bulk of the poison, sort of go from island to island, and then you probably want to fight them. See, look at that, like huge flipping damage. Probably want to fight them on this big bit of land here, because it's sort of like the biggest wide open space. So we're going for the jump attacks. I want him to do his miracle. So I sort of hold off here and I'm like, right, do your miracle. And it flipping gets me flipping killed. I am going to say I was distracted. There it is there. That's the attack that I wanted to show off. So it is a bunch of golden spears coming out the ground. Very pretty. Near infinite range. So the theme for this boss is simply dodge to the side, do not dodge backwards. As for what killed me there, I can't quite remember. Perhaps I was distracted, perhaps I underestimated him, but I was clumsy there and my health pool couldn't save me. You will notice this about, like, now that we're in Liurnia, we've graduated from Limgrave and Weeping Peninsula, bosses are now suddenly, and caves in fact, are now suddenly that wee bit more noticeably difficult. So we are going to want to pump a ton more vigor as we go along here to compensate for that. So I'm just tunneling my runes, which is always a bad thing to do. Very risky there. Go for the jump attack when he is doing a charge at me. I guess I hoped for the best. Hoped that I would hit first. Did get the stagger off from very quick jump attacks in succession, and so was able to finish with the counter. Now, it really is as simple as that, just overpowering him. But remember, if you're having trouble with this boss, you can just use a Spirit Ash to try and take some aggro for you. The main thing is, he's dead. We got the Winged Sword Insignia, a talisman which will increase your damage the more you hit in a sequence. That is successive attacks. This base level one will increase it by 3%, which doesn't sound like much, but if you're doing big combos all the time anyway, it's free damage. As long as you hit within 1.5 seconds of your previous hit, it will benefit from the attack power increase. It's a really good talisman that suits a lot of builds, and we'll even get a more powerful version later. So that's us done with Stillwater Cave. I do apologise for the clumsiness on this one, but I will do better next time. I hope it was still able to help you. And if you enjoyed the video regardless, do leave us a like. It really does help me out. Subscribe to check out the next part in our Elden Ring walkthrough, and I will see you in the next videos.